Welcome down the middle podcast. Oh, bleh. Welcome to the down the middle podcast, battlers. Holy dooly! I've just had a little stuff up
That's
early.
pre-season.
Straight. That's pre-season. We're just ironing out a few kinks, eh? And actually, in saying that, just as oh yeah, there we go. My headphones are back. My headphones went at the exact same time. I think that's what threw me off. Moors, maybe throw to you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Fucking hell, I'm not.
We're on fire.
Is
We are
it,
on fire.
we've been talking for minutes, and I
Do
haven't
we
had
just
it.
cut it? Do we just cut it there? Is that episode 2 for the year?
Oh wow. Okay. Holy, I'm good, mate. I can't believe that we've been fine, and we get
Which
to
we've
press
just
record, and
chatted.
then
We've just chatted for
all hell
10
breaks
minutes.
loose.
Holy dooly.
Um,
Righto. Let's slow it down. Slow it down.
yeah.
Um,
The week started good, mate. The Battlers getting a win on the Monday night with the extra round.
Shout out to the
Wolfpack.
heart and soul.
Oh,
No, no,
oh no.
stuff the Wolf. The heart and soul of the team, the skipper for getting when he got, I think it was a forced substitution, is probably what we can call it.
Yeah, take a break.
Take a break, buddy. And who's your captain, you boys? The bloke that's heading towards the sideline that you just told to sit
Yeah.
down. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, it was coming.
did we
He's
do we have a hang on? If I do a live check of the ladder, did it get us into first
knowing the way that
competition?
things get updated.
Oh, the ladder won't be updated anyway. Of course it won't
Well,
be.
the yeah, the things aren't updated either,
Live
like the
check.
draws.
No. Still sitting on 25 points apiece
That's
up
a
there.
Sunday afternoon thing.
Whatever. Should finish first or second. We'll probably play the
We
same
should
team that
finish
we played
second.
last week. Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway, that's just another semi-finals berth for the Battlers. Hopefully, we can get through to the grand final, and we've jagged a couple of real gutsy wins. So maybe 2025, 24, 25 summer season's the year for the Battlers. We'll see.
could be. Hopefully, we'll find out
Big
next week or
lift,
two.
big lift. We'll be definitely sure to let you know as soon as we get that
Oh
over the
yeah,
line.
well, I don't think we can do a live stream this year because you're back.
I'll bring a supporter to do a live stream, surely, surely.
We could have a
Anyway.
tripod or something like that.
Maybe a
One of the boys
tripod.
would.
Yeah, maybe a drone or something. Maybe a drone, some drone footage.
So,
Um, anyway, yeah, Butler's big win, and then we're just grinding away. It's been hot this week. I'm sweating in the studio tonight.
it has been, mate. It's just that humidity, I think, just sticks around.
Does your pool get a run? Most, or do you get in the
Hey,
pool much?
I've got another problem with the pool, so just pass on
Oh,
to that. Just yeah,
pools, they are just
not
money
talking.
suckers. They're money
When you
suckers.
want a pool, feels like a great idea, and then you get one, and I'm like, fuck, I'm ready to fill this thing in.
Fill it with dirt.
Oh,
Make it. You know what? Fill it with dirt. Bit of Sir Grange's Oisia on top, maybe, and turn it into a putting
mm,
green.
yeah,
Bit of
dreamy.
tiff tough. Come on,
I'd make another shed and just make it a full golf simulator. Sounds a bit better.
mate. Sounds perfect. I love it. I
Yeah,
love the sound of it. There we go. We'll do the podcast out of the golf sim every week.
100%.
I don't. Hey, okay. I'll talk to Nora about the pool. We're gonna go second second drop of preseason. What are we calling it? Preview team previews.
Yeah,
Can you hear my dog barking outside? Hey, yeah, there you go. No, she's
you've
still
got a
going.
law tonight.
Far out. Hey, there must be something going on out there. Right, so we're running through 6 teams tonight. Again, we're going alphabetical off the current NRL ladder, which
Yep.
exists before we get underway. Preseason starting
Tomorrow night, Sharkies
tomorrow night.
Warriors.
So actually, I don't know, if your NRL app, if you go into NRL app and preseason challenge is already there, there's already points and all sorts of stuff.
Is it
That must be
in the
that, that
ladder?
must be that must be last year's preseason. That's very silly.
28 points. No, because
It is.
Manly won it last year.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they win it the year before? I actually think that's last year's ladder. The Broncos won it last year, I reckon.
Mm,
I think Manly won it before. Anyway, yeah, it threw me out because it come up with preseason challenge straight away. But we're going tonight. Gold Coast Titans, Manly Sea Eagles, Melbourne Storm, New Zealand Warriors, Newcastle Knights, and North Queensland Cowboys. So then we'll have six teams to preview next week. And we might touch on the preseason challenge, which is a couple of games this week.
yeah,
Um, yeah, the Sharkies are playing this week. So,
yeah. Only the two games, unfortunately. I don't know sort of why they don't have more going or
well, I think they're
start
just
of the week later.
trying to
But
stretch it out.
yeah, I do understand because I think it is the four Vegas teams playing this weekend, so I can probably understand that's why.
Getting a game in early before
Um,
they start to travel.
even though, yeah, get the trouble over there a bit earlier.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Righto. Well, same sort of concept to what we used in episode 102 or episode one for season four. We're going to go team, their result from last year, some ins and outs, gains and losses. Maybe a little look at who they're sort of re-signing, and then H has got a bit of what their team should look like, and then we'll probably go with where do we see them finishing this year with a bit of chit chat. So the Titans H last year, I'm sure you'll remember. Something going on in my ear here. Jesus, we're in all sorts here. 2024 result, they finished 14th. Um,
mm,
and from memory, again, part of that small group that with a couple of wins or a couple of better finishes, they might have been pushing for the eight. But yeah, finished 14th. For me, it doesn't matter what team you are, that's a loss for the year. That's not a good finish.
yeah, it's a fail.
That's a fail.
It's
There you go. Um, their gains for 2025, Regan Campbell Gillard, the only one noted to be gained for the Gold
I was going
Coast
to say, I
Titans.
don't think there was, and you can probably say Tino a little bit because he only played the 2 to 3 games last year, I think, or four.
So they get Tino
So
back from injury, um, but I, I don't know about that level of recruitment, whether the Titans team is necessarily good enough to only have one signing, let alone one key
well,
signing.
you say that right, and then I'm looking at their team now. Um,
Well,
I think yeah,
let me spin off a
yeah,
couple of losses, then you can tell me sort of what their top 30, well, what their top 17 looks like, because Regan Campbell Gillard coming in, who is a front rower. I think about the fact that yes, Tino is back from injury, so he might be working towards some bigger minutes, but he does a lot of work in the middle there.
mm,
Their losses, yeah, Tanner Boyd is the first name on the list. They're played in the halves, played at hooker. Um, Tanner Boyd was involved, and I'm sure we'll get to him because he's going to the Warriors. Involved in a lot of the confusion around who was playing what role there at the
in and
Titans.
outs, yeah,
To be honest, it's probably a good thing for Tanner because I think he'll get some consistency. But yeah, so he's gone. Aaron Clark, one of the dummy halves there, he's gone to the Warriors as well. Isaac Liu over to Lee Leopards. Look, he's probably nearing the end of his career. Would you say
well, he sort
Liu?
of came. Well, he went from the Roosters to the Super League, then came back
Yeah, so
for like for 18 months, and then now he's gone back. So he's a journey.
I think he's just wrapping up.
Yeah,
Keenan Palacia, who I thought probably wasn't going too bad, but he's over to the Leeds Rhinos. So he might
yeah.
be looking for a
So
little,
that's not a
maybe a
bad
little,
team.
maybe a little cash grab.
Yeah,
And like you said, going to a decent team over there. And another one, Aaron Shoop. Um, Aaron Shoop, a fair bit of game time from Aaron from memory last year.
I think he sort of played a bit of center, didn't he? I
Yeah, I
think,
was going to
or
say
maybe
outside back.
yeah,
He's going to Manly. So we'll also talk about Manly next. So
yeah, right.
yeah, I don't know. Foreign's re-signed for this year. Dave Fafita until 26. And AJ Brimson, they've tried to lock him up, which I think is a good decision until 2030. So, you know,
Yeah.
but knowing that those guys, well, one guy's in and those guys are out, what's this top 17 roughly look like?
Well, I think before I say that, I think they addressed well with getting rid of not the dead wood, but like positions that they were just stacked in. like your hooker
Like
locks.
Tanner and Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of them boys, and just I think they're going to be settled. With this 17 that I'm just going to pronounce now. You got Kinney at fullback. I think
Mm,
he got onto the scene last year. Pretty
hmm.
explosive, small, but sometimes that's a good thing. Mate, then your two wingers, Campiera and Jojo Feder. I think
Yeah.
them boys were pretty much locked in from last year.
They're locked in
And
every week.
then I think you got Brian Kelly and Sammy in the centers, sorry. I think Sammy's a bit of a weak link. I
Yes.
I don't I think if they needed a splash cash or get a young kid, I think center would probably be the way to go. Um, and then we've got Brimson and Kieran Foran in the 6 and 7. So they're still one man too heavy. And I think this will be the last year. I think Kieran Foran will probably retire at the end of this year, and I don't think they'll have this problem next year. But you don't want to be saying next year already before this season starts.
Kieran Foran. I'm just going to try and see if I can get his profile to see.
He's about
Uh,
36 or something, isn't he?
born
Oh,
in born in 1990. He's 34 years old.
34.
We'll make him. He'll turn 34 halfway through, 35 halfway through the year. July. Mate, he's oh geez, I don't
He's
know.
had injuries. So I think, yeah, that's the way I think. And then you got Fodawaker and Regan Campbell Gillard in the 8 and 10.
Yep,
I
like
think
it.
they're pretty good. You got Sam Verrills in the number 9.
That's right.
He was sort
Verrills
of
is up there.
he was
Yep.
sort of on and off. He just the last 2 years he just hasn't been able to stay on the footy park.
Yeah, I like Verrills though. I think if
Yeah,
he can stay stay fit and healthy, he would be my choice again. Above Tanner Boyd, above Aaron Clark, as well.
yeah,
So I think that's like you said, not maybe not necessarily deadwood, but they're trying to just thin it out to make sure they've
yeah.
got one or two choices, not six.
Yeah, 100%. Then in your second row, you probably got one of the better second row pairings in Dave Fafita and Bo Fermor, especially when Fafita's on. If he's on that day, not many people can stop him. He's just
Yeah.
an absolute wrecking ball. And then, as we said, you got Tino coming back. He's playing in 13. And then the bench is where it gets a little bit interesting because I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Jaden Campbell, he's at 14, but I don't know. He might start at 7 or 1. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, see, I think I see Jaden Campbell being transitioned into the halves, and Kieran Foran being transitioned into retirement. Let's be
Yeah.
let's be honest. Jaden Campbell probably would be my first choice at one, but I think, like you said, he's sort of. I don't think anyone's real sure where he's going to be. So putting him there at 14
Mhm.
is like he's going to get a start, but where? Not entirely sure. And I think that it's just a matter of time before Kieran Foran just goes,
How long of a contract he got? Do you
who?
know? Jaden Campbell. Did you didn't say he re-signed, did you?
No, keep going and let
Oh,
me
I'm gonna
let me
go
find out.
then. You got Joey from the 15, Chris Randall at 16. So he's that sort of, and that's where I find it a little bit weird. You got Campbell and Randall on
Yep.
the bench, where I feel like Randall's that hooker. And then at 17, I think you've got a young kid, by the way, he's Josiah Palu. Palu.
Hmm.
Obviously, he must be a good prospect, or I could be absolutely talking out of my arse, and he could be a 28-year-old that I've just never heard of.
Never heard of him.
Um, so yeah, but they are saying maybe David Feeder is in doubt for round one with the ankle injury, and Regan Campbell Gillard in doubt for round
Yeah,
one, but that
I
doesn't
heard that.
matter because they've got the bye in round one. I've just read, I kept reading,
So that'll
so
be right.
they'll be right for round two of their first game of the season.
Did you want to know
That
Jaden Campbell's contract? Is that what you said?
yes,
Signed until 26. So he
that's
signed
like
on for 25
2 years.
and 26. So I think,
Okay.
and
So at the
again,
end of
sort
this
of,
year.
yeah. So
Mm,
you got Brimson till sort of 2030. You got Campbell until 26, and then some of those other Kieran Foran's only 25. Um,
mm.
Keanu Kinney, same as Campbell, 26. Chris Randall's just signed another deal until 27. So yeah, I don't know. It's
Tell you what,
interesting.
mate. You know who Jaden Campbell would be good for? I feel like at the end of this year, if he has a good year and they don't tie him down, I don't know if you like. I reckon the Dragons go after him. I reckon he'd be pretty good.
Hayden Campbell, where to play where instead of Kyle
Hey,
Flanagan?
you put Flanagan off, mate, 100%. Put Ilias at six
Mm.
and or sorry, keep Ilias at seven and put him at six. You need that spark, mate. You need that half.
We're not talking about the Dragons yet.
I know. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's what I think would be good.
Maybe
Um,
there's probably better ones out there.
you got to pay $2 million to get for him. So that's there, and that's the Titans. Um, and with the way that I think, so that 14th, it's like I think they're gonna go two spots up. I think.
Up, I think they might trickle a little bit
Down.
further.
It's well, they get a head start on everyone else,
You were
but
very decisive on that. Last week, you were very mysterious and you didn't want to give anyone an inclination into how many spots up
yeah,
or down or where they were going. I was being a little bit more forthcoming with that information, but we've sort of swapped roles there.
yeah. I was gonna
I
say you sort of went
I
down,
think
and
that
that's it.
I think they'll trickle. I think they'll trickle down. I just don't know if yeah, maybe like you said, maybe signings in and out might give them a bit of an edge because people know what they're
Yeah,
doing. I don't I just don't think they've got it there.
yeah. It's tough.
Desi's the coach, yeah?
Yeah, that's yeah. I
Desi's
don't. Desi's fucking
Desi
up and
doesn't he
down though.
doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
He's a losty. He's anyway, doesn't do it for me. All right, so you reckon maybe up? I'm gonna say down. At the end of next week, we'll probably do our whole ladder. Or maybe the week after, you never know. You'll have worked
Yeah,
it
we'll
out most of
see.
it. Righto. All right. Sea Eagles. You want to look at the Sea Eagles or you want to keep going about the Titans?
No, mate.
Let's go to
Let's
the Sea
move
Eagles.
on.
Righto. 2024 result came seventh. I think pretty good. Pretty good result. We we sort of got on the back of the Sea Eagles here and there.
Well, we did
Um,
say Tommy stays fit. They play. We both said
mm,
they'll play finals,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he stayed fit. They had some blimps, obviously, but yeah, and got
I
to the
think
second week of finals as well. So
I think pretty good.
yeah.
Um, Gains wise, they've got Siasua Takiaho coming back over from the
Oh,
Catalans
did he?
Dragons.
Is he with them?
I think
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is good. So he went from the Roosters, went overseas, and he's coming back. And they've got Jazz Tavanga from the Warriors, who I think Jazz Tavanga has played out of his skin the last couple of years.
He did last year. Definitely last year.
It's very disappointing that he's been over at the Warriors and not maybe reached any real level of success because I think he's been playing really well. So you know we'll find out sort of where he
Mm.
might fit in the 17. But I think you'll see that he's going to be a critical player. As far as losses, I've thrown this guy in because our man KT, our captain for the Battlers, is in love with this guy.
Uh, he's-
Jamie Humphreys, when he debuted, oh my goodness, guys, you've never seen a group chat blow up so much with love hearts
about
and
a who?
about a bloke no one's ever heard of. Anyway, so he's gone to the South. Now, I think that's probably a win for Jamie. From memory, he's a hooker.
Halfback.
He's a halfback. Okay, sure. Anyway, he might, but for a young bloke, he might be able to get something out of Wayne Bennett. So that'd be good. But big loss, not sure. Carl Lawton going to the Cowboys, as is
That's
Jackson
no loss.
Paulo. Um,
No loss.
hey,
They're two no losses. So,
well, yeah, they're sort of free. They were fringe sort of backups. Josh Schuster is going to the Rabbits. I don't know how that's going to go for Schuster. I don't
that's-
know if he's got the attitude to work under Wayne Bennett.
yeah.
I
But
think it's I think it's a
if
good
there's
move
one
for them.
person, if yeah, 100% the money,
Yeah,
ridiculous money.
yeah. They're freeing up a lot of cash there. I would assume that Sea Eagles are probably paying a portion of his salary.
No, because they changed to a mutual agreement halfway through last year. to just cut
Ah,
ties.
yeah, okay, sure.
So
Um, and then they've got your man Aaron Woods and Brad Parker have both retired, so no real loss there. A re-signing with Ola Kawatu till 2030, I think that's pretty good. Ola Kawatu's a gun, but yeah, ins and outs, not that many losses necessarily. Some and two ins.
yeah,
Think they've done okay there.
yeah, I think they do. And makeshift of the team that I'm just about to go through hasn't changed too much.
No, I think it'll be very
Um,
much the same team as 24.
yeah, so you got Turbo, Tom Trbojevic at the back. You got Jason Saab and Lehigh Hopewadi on the two wings. So obviously with Jackson Polo going to the Cowboys, they can play Hopewadi there now and go, righty, that's your
It was
spot.
it was pretty good last year too when he was
Oh,
on.
100%. When Turbo had them a couple of weeks or
Hmm.
they rested him, he did pretty good at fullback. Then you got Reuben Garrick and Kohler as the centers,
Hmm.
workhorse machines, obviously in the kicker. And then you got the resurgence of Luke Brooks from last year with him partnering with Cherry Evans in the halves. Um, Brooks just does what he needs to do: run the ball, short passes, kicking game. Um,
How long you
it
reckon
could be
Cherry Evans has
Cherry's.
got? Yeah, I was going to say how long you reckon he's got left.
I think this is his last year on his contract, maybe one more year. I think he's definitely not going to play for anyone else. I know that much. He'll stay a one club man. I'm pretty sure he's a one club man. Um,
Cherry Evans last year on his contract. Yep.
so yeah, it all depends on how this year goes, I reckon. If they have a really good year, I reckon he'll stick around for one more. But if they be a big disappointment, I think he'll retire.
Well, he's 35.
Yeah,
He's just about to turn 36 actually. Later this month. So
there you go.
yeah, you can't. Mate,
Interesting.
the body doesn't hold up for that long, surely.
He's not going to play Origin this year. He's pretty much been phased out of Australia and Queensland. Um, so he's
Maybe
just
that helps
focusing
him.
on Manly. I
Yeah.
think it might. You never know.
Yeah.
And then moving on, mate, with Paseka and LAA in the 8 and 10. Josh LAA. I don't know about him.
Nah,
I don't think he's a good foot.
nah.
He's an ugly looking bloke, and I don't think he's an average football player as well.
Oh, I think he's just also a bit of a meathead.
Hot,
Just
hothead, right?
uh,
Yeah,
yeah. That sums it up. If you watch the YouTube, you know exactly what my expression
yeah.
just sums up.
Mate, they've got Jake Simpkins in the hooker here. That's only because of Lachlan Croker. He's out until round 4 with a knee
Yep.
injury.
Yep.
That bloke can't stay fit.
Yeah.
I swear, the last 18, I know last year, unfortunately, with the concussion, he had to take about 8 weeks off. So that's obviously fair enough. But yeah, unfortunately, I think he's got a injury in the preseason, round 4. Mate, and then moving on to the second row, you've got Olakawatu, as you said, that's re-signed until 2020, 2020,
2030.
2030. And then the youngest of the Travojevic player boys in the team with Ben in the 12, and then you got Jake in the 13. And then you got new recruit Jazz Tavanga in the 14. I think that's a pretty good utility.
Think
He can come on and
he'd be
play
great off the bench.
anywhere from 8 to 13. If they
Yeah.
need to give Simpkins a spell, he can do that for 20 minutes and still run the ball out of dummy half, do all that. Mate, Nathan Brown still kicking around. I don't know about that. I think that should be a young bloke spot. I reckon
Re-signed,
develop someone.
re-signed, re-signed until 26.
I don't know. I think I'd
I
rather have
don't
a
get it.
20-year-old in there
Yeah, I don't get it.
because you've got Sipley and Bullymore on the bench for 16 and 17. Let them boys, Tavanga, he's another forward. Have a young forward on the bench and just progress him.
Yeah.
So
Nathan Brown goes all right though. He sort of surprises you. He's a bit of a he's sort of a bloke that you don't really like, but he goes all right. But yeah,
he's a bit of a
look,
hothead as well, though. That's the problem.
yeah. But even like having Tiakiaho, like I think Brown and Tiakiaho are sitting in your reserve grade side, unless they're paying them too much, I guess. But Brandon Taukeiaho sitting in his reserve grade side, waiting for an injury and coming
Mm.
back in and having all that experience and just being able to go, yep, bang bang. This is how we do it. I know how to play first grade. I don't know. I just think that would be better. But
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I wouldn't be playing Brown. But
No.
it's me. Uh,
Mate, what do you think? With obviously,
I
as you said, finishing seventh last year.
I still think this. I still think that especially that 1 to 13 is pretty strong. I see him staying around the same.
Yeah,
Sort of, maybe up or down one, but I still think that that second half of the top eight is. I think they're not cemented in there, but I think they're in there. Yeah,
mate, I pretty much exactly what you said. I think if I can say something, it would be 6 to 8. I
yeah,
think they're not a lock for the 8, but solid.
yeah, yeah.
For that.
I think they'll beat enough teams, and keep
Yeah,
enough of the up in the air teams out of that eight. So yeah,
yeah.
righto. Look, this will be a quick and easy one. This next team, the Melbourne Storm. 2024 result was first. They've really made one
Minor premiers.
minor premiers. They were good. They were very very good. They made one play at one player for to as far as signings go, and that's Utukumanu. Signed him on till 2027 from the West Tigers. I think he even sort of come out and said that that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to a system that, has seen success and he wants to be a part of that and wants to, sort of
Yeah.
I think he's probably more going there for a bit of a personal journey to make sure that he's a real footballer. As far as losses are concerned, no one really of note. Remus Smith and young Tonga Mapayo, who have both sort of played a fair bit of
They were in and out last year as well, really. Like
but
they
that's what I
couldn't
mean.
crack.
Yeah, but
But
they've
that,
done a job, but they're retired.
yeah,
They've retired. Aaron Pene is gone to the Lee Leopards, and Chris Lewis is retired. So I think that also shows sort of how the Storm system operates. That they're not just in and about chopping and changing and ins and
mm,
outs, and they sort of pick a squad. And I, I'm actually reading Cameron Smith's book at the moment, and the way that he writes about the Storm system and also about his Queensland experiences as well, but especially the Storm system. I think this is we're bagging out other players for not making any plays at some players ins and outs. Who are they getting
mm,
rid of? Who are they getting in? But I think this sort of shows the level of trust maybe that the Storm have. Um, you could read into it however you want, but I think it shows the level of trust and who they have and that everyone knows what role they play. No one's. I don't think anyone down there would be very unsure of what they're expected to do each week.
yeah. Oh, 100%. And it just shows by looking at this 1 to 17, it's pretty much literally it's only one change, and yeah, no, that's crazy.
Utukamanu,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
does he? So
So
okay,
he
go
so
run. You run through this quickly, really.
yeah. So you got Pappenhausen at fullback, obviously. Hopefully he can have an injury-free
Yeah,
2025 season. You got Warbrick and Coates on the wing,
yeah,
easy.
easy,
Jack Howard's made the centre position his own sort of from round 8, round 10 last year. Him and Nick Meaney, they're pretty pick themselves. Obviously, Munster and Hughes, probably the best halves in the
easy.
game now with Luai moving on from the Penrith Panthers. So I think I'll put them boys at number one.
Hmm.
You got Udakamano and Josh King starting in the front row with Harry
That's
Grant and Hooker.
That's huge that he's going to pretty much go down there and jag a starting spot, a predicted starting spot. But that's huge that
So,
he's going to do that.
so Nelson's suspended until round 3. So that helps him.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So I
Yep.
would think if he wasn't suspended, I think he would
Probably
probably
goes
be
to the
on the
bench.
bench.
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Um, and obviously you got the Australian hooker Harry Grant, like I said. You got Blore that's made one of their second rower spots himself from last year coming down from the Tigers.
Interesting. Two forwards coming from the Tiger system to the Storm.
Yep, obviously
Interesting.
worked out for it took Blore a little bit of time last year. He
He
sort
was
of
great at the back end though.
yep, 100%. And I think Stefano being probably more settled in the Tigers team from last year. I think Blore was in and out of the Tigers, went down the
He could
Storm,
he could
which is
hardly
never,
get a go at the Tigers,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden he's a run-on player for the Storm. Like,
yeah.
what are the Tigers doing?
Mate, you got the Kiwi international and probably a top five second rower in Eli Katoa.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, last year, especially as a
Dally M.
super coach, he just couldn't could not play him and sometimes captain him.
Yeah.
Um, and then probably 13 is probably their weaker position in Liero. But he's a solid. He does the job. He if you can say that about, yeah, that's your weakest bit, but he's still half better than half the 13s in the game.
I think you'll only be better this year. I think you'll have a good season.
100%. Mate, and then you've probably got one of the best utilities between him and Campbell, Wishart,
Oh,
especially last year with Mudstay. He's uh, off the chain. He's just crazy.
and we'll go in and play a 13 role if he has
He'll,
to.
li- he- He'll literally play 113. He
Yeah,
played on the
just
center. He's
about.
played in the wing, fullback,
Just
six,
about.
seven, obviously.
Look, I don't think he'd be real happy about playing 8 or 10, but
No,
far out.
he'd give him a crack.
If Craig said, "Listen, mate, Nelson's coming off. I got no one else. You're going on," he'd go,
Oh,
"I'll just tighten my boots up a little bit tighter, mate."
oh, mate, if that's what I had to do to pay for NRL and the Storm, give it to me. Wouldn't I'd do it.
You could cop a couple of big hits, couldn't you?
100%. Mate, then you got Alec McDonald, Christian Welsh. He's sort of a bit on the outer. I think this might be his last year, I think.
Yeah, he's probably nearing, but again, injuries hurt him.
Injury, yeah. I
So
think late
he's
2023 and sort of,
yeah,
I think it
still a,
showed in 24.
still a good footballer though. Still a good footballer.
Yeah. And then in the 17 spot, come on, keep, you can never say this bloke's last name. Kamafakika. Oh, I've butchered it still.
Kamikamitha.
Yeah, there you go. It's so weird because that K is silent, and I know it's silent, but I'm saying it when I'm looking at it.
There's no K
Isn't
that's
it?
silent. Kamikamitha. It's a C at the end, isn't it? It looks as if Kamika, but I think it's Fijian and it's a sound.
Okay, I'll believe her. I'm just going to question you.
I
Well,
think. I think. I
yeah,
think.
fair enough.
Anyway,
And obviously, as I said, Nelson suspended until round three. And then, yeah, pretty much barring any injury troubles, the Storm side picks itself for round
yeah.
one.
I think they'll take the minor premiership again. I'm going to be confident with that one.
Oh,
I-
see, I
I'm
actually
going to.
butchered them last year because I said they're going to drop out of the eight.
I know you did.
I think they stay the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, regress. They regress.
Ooh, down a little bit. Okay, be very interesting to see you have coming first then. Okay. No, no, no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Tell me later. Tell me later.
Oh, how now I'm thinking, I'm like, hang on, shit.
No, no, it's all right. We'll
Yeah,
get to that. We'll get to that.
yeah,
Right, they're a top four side. Let's move to the
yeah.
Warriors. 2024 result, they come 13th. I think that's a fail again for anyone. That's 13th is a fail. The gains for the Warriors, we're looking at Tanner Boyd, we're looking at Aaron Clark. The big one is James Fisher Harris, going back to New Zealand. I think that'll be good culturally. He signed on until 2028. It'd be interesting. They've obviously, a couple of big holes have been left with the losses. So three big ones that we haven't discussed as of, or no, one we have discussed. So you've got
Yeah,
Adam Fanua-Blake, who has obviously gone
yeah.
to the Sharks. That's a big hole. We've got Tohu Harris, who has retired.
Unfortunate.
A fantastic, fantastic player. Sean Johnson has retired as well. And then two blokes that we've already mentioned last week and this week, Marcelo Montoya and Jazz Tavanga, are gone. So yeah,
They're,
that's
they're a
where we're
tough
at.
side, man. You look at them on paper and they're so good, but then you watch them play and they're so shit.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the case for the Warriors for
Oh,
maybe a couple more years. Again, if they can do the Warriors, look, Storm don't lose anyone, Storm don't get anyone. Or they get people here and there, but they don't necessarily lose anyone. When you go to the Storm, you stay at the Storm. I think the Warriors of late, people have got, especially a few individuals. I want to get back to my roots. I want to get back to my heritage. They go over there and then they leave.
Yeah.
Adam Fanua Blake being one of them, right? Or there's lots of talk about where's this play going? Where's this play going? Maybe they'll go back to New Zealand. They don't go,
Hmm.
right? I think New Zealand really need to set up a system where it's like you want to be here and you want to stay here. You don't want to go back over to you don't want to go back over to any of those Australian teams, those East Coast teams. You want to get here because you want to stay here, and we've got something that we can offer that's great. And I
What
just
they
don't
want to
know
build, sort of
that
build something.
build
100%.
something. I just don't know if they're there yet. They might get there, but they've got to get a couple of real. They got to get a couple of real big signings for me. Roger was good, but it's not
Yeah.
the be all and end all. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
they sort of do have flashes in their team. Um, and obviously, in starting the fullback, Charlton Clockstad, coming over last year from the Canberra Raiders, have a massive hit.
yeah.
Um, so he's one of them people that he wanted to go back over there, go back home, and he's actually proved that he just didn't do it to do it. He,
So he
showed.
he proved that he could still play well,
Yeah,
but it's not a game changer.
no, he did. He was just in and out last year with injury,
Yeah,
unfortunately. And then you got the wingers, Dallin and well, they got Roger on the wing. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I
I think recent
think last week,
talking was he going to go to center?
so he was playing center, and they said we're not going to change positions. He's not going to go to
Yeah.
the wing. But then they name him on the wing this week for the trial match. It's like
Oh,
just
they
tell us.
have. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then in the centers you got Rocco Berry and Leotau. So I
Is
think
that
they
is
were
that?
the
Yeah,
Ali,
yeah,
Ali.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I don't know if he was sort of in and out last year. And then at the 6 and 7, this is where they're good footballers, but they're just a weak pairing with Luke Metcalf and Tia Marie Martin. I think that's a bit of a weak 6 and 7 for me.
Yeah, I don't. I like my six and
Metcalf's a good
seven better.
footballer. I'd go 1-1. I'd take Luke Metcalf over Flano,
Yeah, fair, fair.
and I would take Ilias.
Is there a bit of talk about Dylan Brown? What Dylan Brown's going to do? Whether or not he might want to head back over and play for the
Mate, you don't
Warriors?
know what's going to happen with that bloke.
You never know with Brown, but
It's
like that would be a signing. That would be a good
That's
signing.
your six, and then have
Or
Metcalf at
actually,
7.
the signing
Done.
you really want is you want to steal one from the Storm, don't you?
He's not leaving.
Yeah, but imagine in 3 years' time, that's the signing you want.
Have the Kiwi pair, and you reckon Kiwis halves.
Yeah. I'm not saying that the Warriors need an all New Zealander team, but you got to have enough in there. And I
But if you're
think
going to go that, if you want to get halves, you want the Kiwi halves. If you're going to pick
like
something out of the spine,
you
or
should
like
be
out of,
throwing $1.4 million at Jerome.
they're going to have to pay 1.1, 1.2 for Brown.
Pay it. Pay
I need to
1.1
see. I
for
need to see something
Brown.
from
Pay
him.
1.4 for Jerome Hughes,
1.4 for Jerome is fucked. That's easy. Easy money.
and then just up the
Yeah,
wires, mate. Anyway, run through eight to
mate.
13, 8 to 17.
Uh, Obviously, 8, filling in the void for Fanua Blake, Fisher Harris slot straight in. Wade Egan, one of the top 5, I think the top 5 hooker, if he can stay
I
fit.
like Wade.
He's got to have a injury-free 2025,
Yeah.
and he could maybe push for
He's
a
killed.
Blues
He's
jersey.
killed my super coach team a couple of times, just in
Yeah,
and out,
you'd
in
love
and out,
him.
in and out. Oh, mate, he was
He's
scoring.
good. I know why, but just is a killer. Mitch Barnett in another 10. He had a
He's good.
pretty
I like
stunning.
Mitch.
He went from the Knights to the Warriors and just
Got
absolutely
a
kicked on.
got a Blues jersey. Got a
Yep,
Kangaroos jersey. Think so. Think you got a green and gold jersey.
maybe.
Yeah, I
Maybe a
think so.
PNG,
Regardless, green
maybe.
and gold.
Oh, definitely. You got Kurt Capewell and Jackson Ford. That's a weak second rower. You don't you like it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, Capewell shit.
Oh, but there's worse blokes out there.
There's yeah, there's worse folks out there, but
It's fine. It's
it's
not
okay.
great, but it's fine.
Okay. Jackson Ford, I think he could probably have a big 2025. And the 13, you've got Dylan Walker. I don't know about that. He's a
That's
good yeah. And
he's not
then
a 13.
on the bench you got Chanel Harris Tavita.
I don't like that.
Um,
I wouldn't.
no,
He won't play on the bench.
it's this
What's
is
he
a
get?
it's a
What's he gonna do?
weird bench. Well, exactly right. Where are you going to play? Then you've got the young 20-year-old Brian Moga. Brian Mugger. He's going to be good. He's a good super coach option for you. He's
Okay.
about 230K.
Yep.
Then you got Nikuri. He's a Kiwi international. He's a hothead, mate. English is not my strong suit. And then in the 17, you got Aaron Clark. So technically, you've got
Mm.
two utilities on the bench, and you haven't even got Tanner Boyd anywhere near that 17. So
He's
it's
only going to be a backup over there. Yeah.
well, see, if I'm the way, I would probably put Martin on the bench, get rid of Chanel Harris Tavita, and put Luke Metcalf and Tanner Boyd at 6 and 7.
You reckon you play Tanner straight up? Tanner might have a bit of a niggle.
Kicking game, massive
Oh,
kicking game,
he
and he kicks
is.
goals.
Yeah, he is a good. He yeah.
Because now you haven't got Sean Johnson. I don't know. I think they're going to be kicking out of dummy half a lot more this year with Wade Egan trying to go for a 40-20 or a 20-40, sorry, both for them. So it's interesting.
I don't know. I look. I'm going to jump straight into what I reckon they're going to come this year. I don't think that
What
team
did they come last year? Sorry,
13th.
13th down.
I'm going to say they'll be around the same, simply because I think there's some teams that are going to do worse. But I'm that's one team I said to you before we started. I'm like,
Mm,
oh, maybe there's a couple of teams I got to swap here. Um, I don't know whether that can do enough, that team.
no, I don't think they can.
And I still think there's a couple of positions that are up for contention, pending. Like you
The
just said with
halves,
Tamari
the
Martin,
halves.
Chanel Harris Tavita, Tanner Boyd, some of those forward spots. I
I'll actually look because I think they named a pretty strong um trials
Yeah, we can jump
this
straight into
week.
that. We can jump over there.
Um, oh my God, yeah. They went Chance, Dallin, Pomp, Leotard, Pompey in the centers, Roger on the wing. They go on Martin and Metcalf in the halves.
Okay. It gives us some confidence.
Barnett, Egan, Fisher's playing, Capewell's playing, Clark's at 13.
Yeah, that's all right.
Um, And then yeah, wow, so Tanner Boyd's not even in the 29. Okay.
I feel like he's got a niggle. I feel like he's got an injury. Maybe I can.
Um, yeah. Expect. I reckon Laban's pushing. So yeah, if it has, where I'm getting my information from, I haven't updated it. So maybe it could be 100% correct, but I don't think it matters. Down for me. And
Yeah,
obviously, as you said, staying the same for you.
yeah, yeah. Next team, Newcastle Knights. Gains. No one.
What did they finish last year? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, 8th,
So,
which is a good result for them. I think, considering they just battled along, they're still going to continue, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a moment. They're still
yes.
continuing with their 1, 6, and 7 debates. Who's doing what? Who's going where? Trying this, trying that, switching this back to reserve grade for you. You're back in next week though. Then
Oh,
you're on the bench, and then you're back at the one, and then you got to play. Just
yeah.
ridiculous shit. Gaines, no one. Right. Tell me if you know any of these names. Taj Annan, Matt Arthur, Francis Manulelua, James Schiller, or Sateni Takamo. You know any of those blokes?
James Schiller is from the Canberra Raiders. I know that.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right, I could have put Schiller in from the Raiders. Sorry, sorry to James. No one of note. Sorry, James. You probably of note.
Like kicking the gaps.
That's average.
But other than
Um,
that, yeah.
no, right. So then if we look at the losses, David Armstrong to the Lee Leopards, Jed Cartwright to Hull
Tell you what,
FC.
these Lee Leopards, mate, if they just
Lee
got a new
Leopards.
17.
We might have to chat to the Lee Leopards. They got a whole new team coming in, right? Um, Miles Martin, Fletcher Myers, Daniel Saifidi, who we spoke about, is going to the Dolphins, and Anari
Mm.
Tuwala is off to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So not really, not really much there. There's some teams that are obviously doing a lot of the swapping of players, and there's some others that just sort
Oh,
of
look, tell you the truth, when I sort of look at this 1 to 17, literally there's only
one more.
probably 6 spots that are actually locked in. I reckon the other 12 you could be changing
Okay, talk to me.
easily.
Go, run us through. Number one,
First
Callum
lock,
Ponga.
Ponga,
Okay,
easy.
good.
Fletcher Sharp,
They haven't pushed Ponga into the 5'8" position, so that's
no.
good.
Fletcher Sharp, I don't know about him. I think you've
Ah,
got Gagai
lock.
and Best.
Lock him.
Don't know. He's
Whatever.
he on the safer side, put it that way. Gagai and Best and Marju as your centers, and then you have a wing. I think they're locks.
Did
So,
I before hang on, you just had me on Fletcher Sharp. Did I see that he was training in the halves? Did you see that?
and this is what I mean. This is what I fucking absolutely do not know what is going on with this team. Like this is why I think you've only got these 6 locks, and then you've got the
Yeah,
rest.
right. Yeah, right. Fair enough.
So you've got Tyson Gamble and Jack Hogger. That's worse than the Dragons halves pairing, and that's fucking saying something.
Oh, that's being mean to Tyson and Jack.
They're not good footballers. Um, you got Jacob Saifidi, Jaden Brayley. I think Jaden Brayley's his time's coming to an end. You
Okay.
got Leo Thompson. I think if they
He's
start this, so he's
he's
leaving at the end of the year. So I think that if they start the slide, he'll get phased out.
get the boot.
Why playing? You got Dylan Lucas and Tyson Rizzo in the two RFs.
You'd lock them,
I think
wouldn't you, in second
I
row?
think Lucas is a lock. I don't no, so I would lock Frizzell. I don't think they will lock Frizzell.
Oh, okay. No, yes, they will.
I don't know.
Surely they like Tice.
They got Adam Elliott at 13. Don't know. He's a week on, week off kind of guy.
You know what? My 2025 result, I think, will be similar to yours. You fucking hate the Knights. Keep going.
I like
Keep
the
going. Keep going.
footballers,
Keep going.
don't
Keep
like the
going.
coach. You got Phoenix Crossland. I think he should probably be in the 9.
Yeah.
You got Matthew Croker. I think he's sort of a 22, 23-year-old forward. He
Yep.
did all right last year. Jack Heverington. I'd get that bloke out of the 17. He's a ticking time bomb. Um, and then Kai Pierce-Paul. So this is what I mean. I would probably go Lucas and Pierce-Paul in 11 and 12 and then put Vizell at 13.
Maybe. Oh, Frizzell into the 13 role now, you reckon?
Because he's a nice ball player. He can be a forward ball player. He's got the
You know
nice.
what? Has he ever played 13? That's maybe a stroke of genius.
Thank you. Um,
Thank you.
surely.
I like that. That's good. That's actually not a bad idea.
Um,
Knowing how he played at the Dragons, at the Sharks, and now at the Knights, maybe 13's his spot.
I think if you and especially with the 6 and 7 not being total
Strong.
dominant, good ball, I think him taking it to line and then bang, quick
Couple
pass. I think that's good.
couple of those names
So
that you were just mentioning, right? Tyson Gamble re-signed until 2026. Dylan Lucas re-signed until 2027. Off contract in 2025. Jaden Brayley, Matt Croker, Adam Elliott, Jackson Hastings, Jack Hetherington, Kai Pierce-Paul, Will Price. Remember they were talking up Will Price?
Yeah,
Um,
young Pommy.
all of them off contract in 2020. So they're going to have to really, I think this year, there's a couple of blokes there from their top 17. Um, they're going to have to sort out where people are playing and work out who they're re-signing because those blokes will go
Yeah,
easy. But, well, they might not
this
go
is what I
easy.
mean. I think they're gonna be exactly like last year, 6 and 7. I reckon you won't get more than 2 weeks the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Two
Like,
weeks in a row. Yeah.
and I think Adam O'Brien's under pressure already with his job.
Mm.
Um, so I wouldn't, I'll leave it for the predictions next week. Um, yeah. But with the Knights, I think they're going down,
Down, down,
down,
down. The Knights are
down, down.
down.
Yeah,
I've got
prices are
like,
down, like down.
I got
Yeah,
almost like explosions. I feel bad for
yeah.
Ponga, man. I feel bad for Ponga.
Well,
Well, he chose to. Bad luck. That's what you get.
that's the thing. It's like, you know what? It's not like he doesn't know what's going to be happening. It's like I don't think he would be left out of conversations. I don't think.
I would be having in my conversations.
Well,
Absolutely.
they
Yeah.
reckon Knights are going to table Brown an offer of 1.2 from 2026.
Dylan.
So yeah, from Dylan Brown. So
Yeah, right. Okay.
it's interesting. But yeah,
Down,
Knights are
down.
going down.
Last one for the night, or for the episode. The Cows, the North Queensland Cowboys, 2024 result fifth. I think a big win for them. Coming off the last couple of years, they went up. Their gains. We were talking about this just before we kicked off. Johnny Bateman is up there. So very surprising that he didn't go back to the Tigers and stay with the Tigers. I thought he loved West. I'm
Biggest shock of 2024.
pretty sure him and Benji were really good mates, weren't they? So Johnny Bateman's off to the Cows. Carl Lawton and Jackson Paulo are both gained from Manly Seagulls. Now the losses here. Cole Felt. Cole Felt is going over to St Helens. A
Oh, I
name
thought you
that
were going to say the Lee boys.
the Leopards. A name that stumps me. Finne Fuiaki.
Yeah, gone to the
He's gone the
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Gazuski, the Bronx, the Dragons have picked up Val Holmes, which is really good for the Dragons. And then Chad Townsend has gone to the Sydney
The
Roosters.
Roosters.
So they've lost. Gazuski's not that much of a big deal, but they've lost a couple of other first graders
Well,
there.
and we might as well add Lukey and Tom Chester. They've both done the SEL and they're out for the season.
Oh, that's huge. That's
So yeah.
huge. With re-signings though, Jakey Clifford's re-signed for this year. Cotter until 28, Dearden until 29, Cohen Hess till
That's a massive
27,
re-signing.
Tommy Dearden,
Dearden.
yeah, and
Yeah.
a fair few years there too. Um, Jordan McLean this year, Griffin Neame till 26. Anyway, yeah, but yeah. So, what's the team look like?
Mate, starting off pretty simple. Scotty Drinkwater at the fullback.
Body
I think
drink
he's
is
going to be the
so good.
I think he's going to be the kicker now as well. So he was the
Yes,
backup to Val
without
Holmes.
Val. Yep.
Mate, then you've got the up and down Tuolangi
Mm,
on one wing and then you got Semi Valame on the other wing. I think sort of them two boys did a good job last year without saying too much. And then you got Valea and Purdue in the
yep.
centers. Um, I think Purdue did pretty good before injuring himself last year. So I think that he's another good Supercoach player. He's about 237.
Yep.
Mate, then you got obviously Tommy Dearden. He might be, is he co-captain or is it only Cotter? Is it Cotter that's captain? I'm not quite sure. Might be vice.
Let me see what I
They
can
have one.
find.
And then you've got Jake Clifford pairing him in with the number 7. Then you've got Jordan McLean and Jason Tumalo in the 8 and 10 with Reece Robson's last year at the Cowboys before he moves to the Roosters in 2026.
Oh, yeah, that's
Obviously,
right.
New South Wales hooker. Um, Massive loss. Yeah.
That's
I think
bad.
if you wanted to keep two players or three players, it'd be Dearden, Robson, and Cotter. I think they're the three that you
Absolutely.
can build a team around, 100%.
Look, again, I think we've probably said it before. Sometimes some blokes have just got to go. Like they go, no, I
Yeah.
want to move.
And
But
Roosters have got
far
money to
out,
spend.
Robson. I would have done everything to keep Robson. Dragons should have kept him
Well,
when he wasn't even that good.
that's
You
what
know
I'll
what I
say.
mean?
He should never have left the first team, let alone the second.
I think I've got Robson in as super coach hooker. He's pretty pricey, but I think I got him in.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah.
As
Uh,
you said, mate, with John Bateman. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say Cotter and Tom Dearden, as far as my sources tell me, are
Okay.
co-captains.
Okay. Easy. You've got Bateman and Nanai in 11 and 12. I think Bateman probably would have been on the bench, but now with obviously Lukey out for the
Mm,
season, he goes in. Obviously, you've got the one of the co-captains, Ruben Cotter, in 13. Pretty much plays 80 minutes every week.
he's a gun.
Absolute stalwart. And you'd go back 3 years ago, I think, and he wasn't really,
He's a nobody.
yeah. Like I think he was playing Queensland Cup or maybe in and out of the Cowboys side.
He's still only a young
Um,
fella though.
26 or is he younger? He looks like he's had a hard life.
He
He,
certainly looks. 26, bang on the money. Just turned 26, just before New
that's
Year.
nuts. He looks like he's 30.
He's born in
Like
1998. Whatever.
crazy.
Good on him.
You on the bench you got Carl Lawton, Griffin Neame, Sam McIntyre, and Cohen Hess.
Hmm.
That's not a good bench.
Oh,
Right.
there's worse.
Cohen Hess. You think there's worse? I think Cohen Hess is the only decent player on that bench. And he's coming back from an injury.
Carl Lawton as a hooker backup, and Griffin Neame's okay. They're not superstars, but you don't have your superstars on your bench. You got your superstars on your starting 13. It's
Yeah,
the whole point of a bench, dude.
yeah, fair enough. And then
He's not happy with the ballot.
nah, I think the only player that can maybe push his way into this side for one of the center positions is Zach Labour.
Yeah, good
Um,
reports about Zach at the moment.
yeah, he's returning through injury, but I think they said they want him to play Queensland Cup for the first few
Fair
weeks,
enough.
2 to 3 weeks. But other than that, and Derby, I reckon Derby could
Derby.
push Clifford.
Really?
Supposedly they were doing pre-season shoots and he had number 7 on his back. So
Big.
interesting.
They've just re-signed Clifford.
Yeah. So here you go.
Yeah, right. I like Clifford. I think he's pretty good. He's only a
But
young fella
for
too.
ladder predictions, mate, I think they're down. Prices are down.
Oh,
They're
you're
just
going big too. I didn't have a big. I'm predicting a small
what did you
drop.
say? Sorry, fifth,
They finished fifth. I'm predicting a small drop. I think they've still got enough talent and direction there to keep them alive.
mate. What's the ride up in Queensland? The Tower of Terror. Is that what it is? And
You
at the
go
top,
slow to the top, and then
and then boom, that's the Cowboys gone.
that's the Knights. Righto. Okay. Tower of Terror. Maybe that's the
Do you think you
there's your
tick that
episode
off your
name.
bingo card for 2025? You didn't think you'd hear that, would you?
Tower of Terror. Whew. Jeez, he's a harsh critic sometimes, Battlers. He doesn't muck around. I don't know about that. All right, fair enough.
Not sitting on the fence this year.
Um,
Why have I ever?
no, no,
Yeah,
you're very straightforward. You're very straightforward.
good.
Yeah, right. Okay. Do you want to we'll quickly just, did you have those preseason games? Is it Warriors Sharks?
Sharks Warriors tomorrow night down at Shark Park, and then Panthers versus Raiders.
Yeah, right.
Um, I will.
You guys are named a sort of half decent side.
Yeah,
Obviously,
we're sort of 1 to 5.
Hines is not in there. Who's your other half?
Trindle.
Trindle. But you got Atkinson in there, which is all right.
Yeah,
Your
Atkinson and
forwards,
Peru.
your forwards are
He
most of your,
massive.
and then
Yeah,
you on your bench is all the young blokes, really, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
So Penrith for the Penrith side, they've got Laurie at fullback, Jesse McLean, Casey McLean at both wings. I'm just going through people that we would
yeah,
know. Jack Cole and Schneider in the 6 and 7.
yeah,
Then you got Maverick Guy and Isaiah Papali'i in the second rows,
yeah.
and then nobody else.
Nobody's. And then so Canberra's got Chevy Stewart, Albert Hopewadi. Their halves, Adam Cook and Ethan Sanders. Is Sanders the one that come from Eels?
Eels, yep, the young
Yeah.
guy.
So
So he's getting his
their
chance.
their forward pack really nobody's. Simi Sasagi's maybe the only bloke that might have played first grade there. So look, the Panthers Canberra game looks like a bit of a reserve grade run, and that might be to give again everyone a little bit more time before they head
Mm.
overseas. Double header. I don't know. Oh no, yeah, Friday Saturday at Shark Stadium by the looks. Is that right?
What, both trial games?
It says Shark Stadium Sydney for both of them.
Shit, I thought it was tomorrow night.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Shark Stadium, Shark. Oh, sorry,
Friday and
Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, okay,
So the
sorry.
Sharks playing on Friday.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There you go. I didn't know that.
Are you going tomorrow?
Nice.
No, no,
No, unfortunately not.
no,
No.
no.
I'll be there for round two.
Yeah. And then we got a full card next week, which is good. We got a full card next week.
Sorry, I'll be at Shark Park round three.
Shark Park round three. Okay. Yeah, we got a full round next week, so we'll go through that if we can, maybe as well as our predictions, or we'll at least brush through maybe some of the results or some of the key players. But yeah, and we got Live Golf next week too, so we'll give a bit of an insight into Live Golf.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll. Yeah, well, I think we'll recap. We might do 2 episodes on foot. I think we might try and push.
we can try.
I think we'll do footy and then live golf. We can recap Rydale that starts tonight,
Yeah,
and then preview Adelaide
yeah, because we like
if
our golf, so
if
we
that
want to we
works.
want to we want to
Yeah,
highlight a bit of golf this year. So yeah. Anyway,
100%.
that's
But
good. Righto, so that's part two of the preview. The Tower of Terror. Enjoy the week, battlers.
see you next week.